Welcome everybody to Humor Highwire. Today we have a couple of new things for you. First up, we're going to be doing some debate on the best way to refresh yourself. This is a new segment we'll talk about more in a bit.
Some master debating.
Also, if you are into Dungeons and Dragons and also beach vacations, have we got a segment for you? Because those two often go hand in hand, as all of us are aware. And today we are just doing what everybody does all the time, which is put those things together. So, stay tuned for that too.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Absolutely.
It's time for the Humor Highwire.
We can jump right into it. So this first segment, the first new one is called Devil's Advocate. And the point of this one is to do kind of like a debate on a specific topic or a question. One of us is going to be the mediator, and this time it's going to be me. And then the other two hosts are going to debate either side. They don't necessarily get to pick what the sides are. Well, they don't get to pick what the sides are at all. But at the toss of a coin, they will get to choose, if they win, which side they argue for. So the way that this is going to be structured, I thought about this a lot to keep it within our segment time. It's going to be 4 2-minute rounds on each side. So the first 2 minutes for each of you are going to be your opening statements, your opening arguments for why your side is superior to the other side. And then you'll have 2 rounds on top of that to answer or rebuff or so on and so forth, debate type things. And then the last 2 minutes are going to be your closing arguments. Make sense?
Almost. Give me the time frames again.
It's 2 minutes. So essentially how it's going to go, there's going to be a coin toss. The winner of the coin toss gets to pick which side of the argument they want to take. And then the loser of the coin toss gets to go first and do their 2 minutes. So the first 2 minutes, one side gets 2 minutes to do their opening arguments and advocate for their side, and then I'll call time, and then the other side gets to go for 2 minutes. And then it goes back and forth like that for 4 rounds, with the last round being your closing statements.
This kind of sounds like we had a really old segment. What was it called?
I don't know. Never heard of it.
I think it had something to do with mushrooms.
What?
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, this sounds much better and much more repeatable and entertaining. So we're going to do it this way instead.
It's time for Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, so the question, the argument is, you guys are either going to advocate for primary mode of hydration. So you are either taking the side of hydrating yourself and drinking nothing but water all the time forever, or the other side of the argument is not drinking any water and only ever drinking / hydrating yourself with anything that isn't strictly water. Now, I know a lot of things are like water-based. A few things that I want to get out of the way right now. Flavored waters and all that sort of stuff, like Mios and all that things, they're excluded. When I'm talking about water, it's just water. Maybe a little bit of salt, some minerals in there, things of that nature. Things that aren't water, I'm talking like tea, coffee, sodas, sports drinks, things like that. Alcoholic beverages, all those sorts of things.
Nice.
And anything that's kind of in the middle, I've kind of taken that off the board because that just seems like a moot argument point. But yeah, so we're going to do a coin toss to see which one of you gets to pick which side you want to argue. So I'm just randomly going to decide that, Justin, you get to pick your side of the coin. So which side of the coin are you calling?
Heads. Always heads.
Always heads. Okay. It is tails. So, Matt, you get to decide which side of the argument you are going with.
This is a really tough one.
Yeah. I thought really hard about this. I was trying to pick something that's like, what's not an easy sell argument on either side? Pick a side.
Do I want the winning side or the losing side?
I don't think both sides have some valid arguments, I would say. But pick your
You know,
side.
I'll be the devil's advocate today, and I'll take the everything but water.
Okay. So that means, Justin, you are only water.
Okay.
Are you ready? Because you're going to start.
I'm starting?
You're starting, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Ready?
sure. Why not?
Opening statements. Here you go. Ready? Go.
Okay. Let's just roll right off the bat, okay? If you're going with only water, okay, you're going to live longer than the person who picks basically everything but water. All right. Everybody knows you need water in order to survive. And yeah, you get water from other things, but drinking things that aren't water all the time, like you're taking in all kinds of unhealthy stuff, yeah, I mean, you can have, oh my gosh, okay, behind the curtain, I'm wasting my 2 minutes, but somebody in my house is making popcorn right now.
That's awesome.
Anyway, you're gonna get you're gonna get good flavor and all that, but what you're missing out on is life essence. Okay, and that's a huge deal. Is your life gonna be boring? Yeah. I mean, you're gonna hate waking up every morning. Okay, like I'm gonna be honest with you about that right off the rip. Okay. Like every day when you wake up and you look at that water bottle across from you, you're gonna sigh, okay, and you're gonna pick it up and you're gonna drink it and you're gonna keep on living, okay. You're gonna keep on living that existence, walking outside every day, taking a breath of fresh air, drinking that sip of water, looking at everybody else who's drinking other things all the time, and thinking to yourself that, hey, you're still alive, you're still here, you're still existing and persisting, and everybody else is living a whole life, and at least you're still alive, like at least you're still around. And that's got to count for something, right? I mean, it's got to mean something, while everybody else gets to have fun, at least there's that. And then, there's also molecules in water, right? And,
Okay,
what? What? Did you just hit me with there's molecules in water?
I felt very much like we were starting down a Justin rant.
What
that
the
goes nowhere.
hell? Yeah, it was nearly there. I don't know
Okay.
if I need 2 minutes for this.
Okay, so there's so the point of this is you're not going to immediately start attacking his arguments. You're going to give your arguments in this first 2 minutes. Okay, you're
What if I don't need 2 minutes?
Then you can just say that you give up, or you
Well, I don't give up.
You give back the rest of your time.
Wait, I can give up too?
No, it's not. You give up the rest of the time that you have for this round.
I just found an exploit to this.
It's not an exploit. It's literally just a standard thing that people do.
Giving up? Yeah, I know.
Wait, can we both give up?
No, you can't.
Hold on. I'll give up if you give up right now. You want to shake on it?
All right, on 3, 2,
Okay, ready?
1.
Okay, you can do your part.
We'll both jump on 3. I swear. Okay, Matt, you ready?
I suppose.
Okay, go.
I'm just I'm letting the mic warm up a little bit, because I know I don't need my 2 minutes, so I'm just kind of talking here for a little bit. How was your day, Ian?
I would encourage the debater to stay on task.
Anyway, so drinking only water or drinking anything but water? First of all, let me just say this: I'm gonna be fine because a lot of drinks that aren't water still require water to exist. Like even things like soda. The main ingredient in soda is water. Sure, it's got a whole bunch of other unhealthy in there for you, but you don't have to drink soda. You can drink juice, like straight from the lemon. You can drink tea, coffee. Those are mostly water. Tea's not too bad for you. You just gotta mix it up, mix up what you're getting. You're not gonna fucking die. Why would you die? For like 10 years of my life, I only drank energy drinks. I'm still around. Don't do that, kids, by the way. But yeah. So I'm gonna have fun and live because I'm having fun drinking all my different drinks, coffee, soda, tea, Gatorade, which, you know, it's got electrolytes. You ever seen Idiocracy? I mean, hey. Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay. Do you give back the rest of your time?
Sure, I'll give it back.
Okay.
Who do I give it to?
Me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I stockpile time. That's how it works. Okay. So the opening statements are completed now. Okay, Justin, now this is your opportunity to either bolster your own arguments or deconstruct Matt's. So your 2 minutes starts now.
Okay. What I heard was a lot of silliness from the other side. Okay, first of all, there was a lot of time wasting. Okay, there was a lot of ambling around. Second off, okay, and most importantly, okay, there was pandering. All right, I heard a lot of pandering. This is relevant to the debate, by the way. Third off, probably the most egregious thing that I heard is that if you just mix up your drinks, you're not gonna die. Citing things like soda and drinking energy drinks for 10 years as being an okay thing, and not to you know, like, poke any holes in anything, but I'm pretty sure that drinking energy drinks and sugary drinks are great ways to inflict things like diabetes on oneself and destroy the liver and generally deconstruct the body. I think these are all pretty well-known facts. The one thing I'll allow is that, like, tea is one of the least offensive, but it still is not as healthy for the body as water is. Yeah, I would say that tea could eventually get just as boring as water could. So you're going to have to mix it up beyond that if you're arguing that you're going to be having fun. So yeah, I would argue that either you're also not having fun, or you're inflicting health risk upon yourself.
It's time.
Yeah.
So I'm not part of the debate, but I do have problems with what you said about tea. But I'm not part of the debate. Matt, now is your opportunity to fire back or add on arguments, whatever you would like. And the time for that starts right now.
Awesome. I'm going to start off with saying fake news. This guy just sat across from the aisle from me, and he just spewed a whole bunch of Listen here, bub. Nobody here believes your fake news. Nobody actually believes you. In fact, what qualifies you to talk about water or tea or coffee or anything? I've never seen your credentials. In fact, I know for a fact you're hating your life right now. You're hating your life right now. Why? Why is that? Go ahead, answer the question.
I think you were spending some time attacking the opposition's personality and not their arguments. So I'm going to have to ask you to redirect your line of speech there.
Yeah, IanCK is biased. He's a terrible news reporter. He's sitting here. He's pandering to my opponent. You know, I just feel like this whole debate was unfair. It's a 2v1 debate.
Again,
it's a 2v1.
Again, I will say you're attacking character right now and not the arguments. And also, to kind of discredit what you were saying, here I'm pausing your timer for a second, to discredit what you were saying, I did just, right before you start, say that I had a problem with something that your opposition said. So, you know, come on now. You've got 43 more seconds.
No, I actually agree with him. You're pretty biased towards me.
Nope.
I actually agree with him.
All right. Start the timer back up.
You can do that, but you're still wrong. You got 43 seconds, Matt. Go.
All right. I also just want to add that when we started this debate, you agreed that you weren't going to fact check us. I give up the rest of my time.
I don't recall any such agreement.
Editor, please put the QR code on the screen.
What? The QR code.
Yeah, the QR code to our website where we are
That's
going
where all the
to
fact checking is actually done.
Live time. Did you watch the vice presidential debate?
No. Well,
okay.
A little bit of it, but that's... Okay. Do we want to do fact checking these claims? Like, I don't like. Your entire
No,
your
you missed the
entire
bit. You missed the bit.
yeah
You
your
missed.
entire second round was just doing nothing but Trump impressions. So, all right, Justin, I guess you can keep piling on whatever that was.
Oh, we have a second rebut?
Yeah, you got 4 rounds. You had an opportunity to rebut everything he said, and then you just
I don't even know what he said.
because you were paying attention, and that's your fault. All right, Justin, go. You got 2 minutes.
Okay. I would like to draw your attention to Exhibit A. Okay. Now, hold on, because I have to look something up.
I mean, I guess I'll allow that, but I'm not stopping the timer for you.
Yep, no problem.
If it's anything but a statistic, I'll be upset.
Is Gatorade bad for you?
What a oversimplified question.
So, it's not a healthy beverage to consume regularly due to its high sugar and sodium content, which can contribute to weight gain, dental issues, and other health problems. And this is according to Healthline, and that's a healthline.com. It also can lead to weight gain, which we know is generally considered unfavorable. But let's go to tea, shall we? Let's go to tea. Let's see. Is tea boring? Let's find out. Let's see. Yes, according to Reddit, tea is overrated and essentially just dirt water. This is actually the top result when you
so
Google
at this
that.
point, even though Justin has 30 seconds left, I'm taking the rest of his time away. He has now lost the debate.
What happened?
He insulted the greatest beverage known to man. That's what he did.
What did he insult?
I didn't. Reddit did. It was Reddit. I
Well, he
didn't do
insulted
anything.
tea.
I just asked the
You brought those
asked-
heinous accusations into this forum. Your 2 minutes are up. All right, Matt, you have another round, and then the rest of the last 2 minutes of your closing arguments. You got 2
All right.
minutes. Go.
Cool. I don't think I'll even need these 2 minutes. See, because Ian, what we have here is someone who is, he's just angry. He's angry because he's here drinking his boring old water. Me, I've got some healthy stuff, you know? I've got sports drinks, which are not necessarily healthy. You know, they got some sugar, but we can break it up with some tea. That's pretty healthy. We got coffee. Coffee can be healthy. We got coconut water. Hey, I could drink that. He can't. We've got juice. We got smoothies. We can actually create a pretty diverse diet on just liquids alone. I mean, I can eat veggies. There are plenty of ways to hydrate without just drinking.
Your timer's still going.
I know. I just really don't think I need that timer anymore.
Do you relinquish the rest of your time?
You would like that, wouldn't you?
A little, but you know, it's your time to do with what you would like.
I will use the remainder of my time to belittle my opponent.
That I will not allow you to do.
All right, I'll relinquish the rest of my time.
Okay. We've now moved on to our closing arguments. You guys can either choose to build on what you've already said or propose additional arguments, but you cannot argue anything else that has been said already. So you can't attack the other arguments. You can only build upon your own arguments in this last 2 minute round. All right, Justin, you're up first. You got 2 minutes. Go.
3,000 people. A lot of people. Let me tell you why that number is significant. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the number of people who believe that tea is dirt water.
Okay, you lose the rest of your time. Pick a different argument, or you lose everything.
Okay. Fine. I'll leave it at this. Water actually can be quite good and refreshing. You can have it at any temperature. It actually, if you drink enough of it, you can start to distinguish different flavors. This is true, at least for me. I actually, personally, I'll disclose this. This is a true fact. I actually do drink a lot of water to the point where I can distinguish different flavors of water. I have preferences to the kinds of water that I consume. I think that it is enjoyable. In fact, most of the time I do choose to drink water over other things. I don't think it would be the end of the world to be stuck drinking water forever. And I do legitimately think that it is a healthier choice than the alternative. I think you could still get your nutritional fill from what you might benefit from other kinds of drink in the rest of your diet. So I believe that you don't really need to, by beverage, consume anything else. So I think from a necessity standpoint, you don't need anything else.
That is time. All right. Last 2 minutes, Matt. Your closing arguments. Go.
See, my opponent just really hates tea, doesn't he? He can't imagine a world where people can have fun and also be
building
hydrated.
on your own arguments. You're not allowed to attack the other side in this last round.
Tea is probably one of the healthiest beverages you could possibly drink. I've heard people say that, many smart people, you could drink it, heat it up in the morning, drink it up. Listen, I have a button on my desk I push from time to time, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times in like an hour. And what happens when I push that button? I get tea on my desk. On my desk every day, I get tea. Now I drink that up. I drink it up. And guess what? I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still alive. I love tea. Tea's great. Isn't tea great, guys? Isn't tea great? We love tea. We love tea. We love it more than water. Water. Ugh. Ugh. Water. Ugh. Nobody loves water. Nobody likes that. My wife likes water, but what does she know, you know? I'm gonna... I relinquish the rest of my time.
Okay. Okay,
What if I told you that was scripted?
I know it wasn't.
It was.
I know it. You sat there muted and typed out a script
Yes.
for you to read off of.
Here, I'll copy paste it right now.
Did you use the thing?
I wrote out like half of it. Did I use what?
Oh, you didn't use the scripter tool. Okay. No, but
What tool?
Never mind. Not okay. So this was really hard for me to sit here and be. Oh my gosh, this is really hard for me to sit here and be a mediator because like a couple of you guys, as you were talking about your different points, both of you left out some pretty major things, like specifically on the side of only drinking water, like the fact that for 95 probably percent of the entirety of human history, all we drank was water and we were just fine.
I definitely thought about that. And mentioning that, and I just thought it would be beneath me.
And and then the argument about the drinks being sugary, you could have rebutted with they have 0 sugar versions of most major sports drinks.
I was waiting for him to say
nah,
that.
That's a bait. That's a bait because what happens when you argue that they talk about artificial sweeteners.
It's true.
And also,
which I've also looked into.
Also, like the tea being boring thing, it's just incorrect. There's thousands of varieties of teas in the world.
3,000 people
out of
on just
7
one Reddit.
billion out of
Wait,
7
what do you mean
billion people on the planet?
How can there be 7 billion people when there are only 7 million people on the Earth?
All right, well, we're gonna move on to our next segment. I don't know who actually won this. I mean, I could be pretty biased in my opinions here. So, gentle listeners, if you're on Spotify, there'll be a poll for who you think won this debate. If you're not listening on Spotify, send us an email. The email address is in the show notes. So please tell us your thoughts. So what's up with this next segment we got here?
All right. So basically, right? Beaches. Okay, imagine this. All right. You and your family, you pull up to the sun-crested dunes, okay? And you're walking out, you're in your bathing suits. You got the buckets for sand, you got the chairs, you got tents or umbrellas if you're umbrella people, or maybe you have no cover whatsoever. You got the sunblock, the towels, you lay everything out, right? And you're just setting up for a nice day, the water is beautiful.
We're doing this again.
Yeah.
You're doing it again.
Hey, I'm building up. I'm introducing the segment.
We're built up.
Let me cook.
Break it down.
Let me cook.
I don't want to.
Your food's getting burnt.
It's burning.
All right, fine. Somebody else do it then.
So all the stuff that he said, and then you're set up and you're ready to have an awesome day at the beach. Then all of a sudden, a giant floating ball that has a bunch of tentacles coming off of its head with a bunch of eyeballs shows up, and maybe awful stuff happens. So this second
maybe
new segment,
awful stuff.
maybe
happens.
awful stuff happens. It depends on what we do with it. So this second segment is called Table Talk.
My beloved ones, it is time for a table talk.
This is going to be based around D&D, sometimes other tabletop RPGs, but mainly D&D. We're all dungeon masters. We all have a pretty good understanding of how the game works, and it'll be kind of like a variety within the variety show that this show is. Variety show variety. So for this particular segment within a segment, we are going to take a D&D monster and we're going to twist it around to fit a particular theme. So we're going to go with a beach theme because by the time this episode posts, we'll be in like May, June area. It's getting warmer. People are going to the beach, that sort of a thing. And we're going to start this off with one of the most well-known D&D monsters in the entire bestiary. Now, you might think that might be dragons because that's the name of the game, but we're going with the very much beloved Beholder. For anybody who doesn't know what that is or has no idea what we're talking about, a Beholder is essentially, think about like a giant kind of like lumpy watermelon, but is like a purplish black, and it's got one giant eye in the middle.
Don't they come in different colors?
They can, but generally speaking, it's like a purplish, blackish color. It floats in the air. It's like the size of, I don't know. What I'm trying to look around and see if I can think about like a monster truck tire.
All right, think about a big eyeball, right? And then you give it like 10 arms. Or how many arms?
It's 10. Except the arms aren't arms; they're stalks with eyeballs on the ends of them.
Yeah. Now you got a Beholder.
Now give that giant eyeball a big old sharp teeth mouth right below it.
Yeah, it's true.
You have a Beholder, and they're generally pretty mean. But this one is going to be beach themed. We're gonna give it a beach skin MOBA style. It's gonna be great. We're a pool party Beholder, perhaps.
I have an idea.
Okay,
I have an idea for our Beholder.
Right, so that's the point of this. So we're each going to take this and we're going to try to put our own individual twists on it.
Are we going to take turns dressing it up?
Kind of. You can either change its appearance, you can change its abilities. We're not going to get big into stats, but you can change its abilities. You can change whatever you want about it as long as you make it beach themed. And we can only have one poll on Spotify, but they can let us know which one they think is the best. So who wants to go first?
Nose goes, and I'm touching my nose right now.
Okay, cool. I'll go first. So my idea for a beach-themed Beholder is twofold. The first thing I thought of was sun hats, because a Beholder is generally just a bunch of eyeballs on sticks. And you know what eyeballs don't like? They don't like getting dried out. And what happens when you pair a lot of direct sunlight with salt and wind? You lose moisture. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. Every single one of the Beholder's eye stalks now have little sun hats on them. And the big eye has one like giant sunglass on it. Like I don't know. Did Mike Wazowski ever have one of those? Just like a pair of sunglasses that's like a single sunglass.
I think Mike
Not in the
Wazowski.
original.
I
don't
think he at some point. I think he did wear glasses, but it was literally 2 glasses.
That's weird.
I'm looking this up.
Well, I'm thinking like a monocle, but for sunglasses. And so we got that going on. I don't really think I need to do much more than that. But I was thinking that he's still a beholder, so he's still got to do awful things and think that they're the best ever, because that's like a key thing with beholders. They think they are the greatest thing that has ever existed, quite literally. But some of the eye stalks have changed. You're going to keep the charm ray because that's cool and whatever. But yeah, no, that's silly. Why would they do that anyway? But I'm thinking instead of like a petrification beam, have it be like a sunblock beam. And instead of it being like one that does like necrotic damage, one that inflicts sunburn, like a sunburn ray to people that he doesn't like.
Oh no, I should have gone first.
Yeah, by stealing stuff. Those are the 2 big things that I could think of, like replacing some of the eye rays with like sunblock and sunburn, and then putting little sun hats on all the eye stalks. That's kind of how I was feeling about it. Maybe changing a couple of the rays around, but yeah, that was my idea for a beach theme. Okay. Enough with the Mike Wazowski pictures, please.
Can't help it.
All right,
I've stumbled upon something.
So I'm going to go now before I lose more of this. I immediately was thinking, when I think about beholders, I think about the different rays. So beholders shoot rays from their eyes, and each eye shoots a different ray, and all the rays have different effects, right? But this is a beach theme. So I wanted to keep the generalized effects, but I wanted to make them beach appropriate. So I'm basically reskinning the effects, right? So first you have the charm ray, right? So I thought like, this is going to be like just a nice light sea breeze. And then there's like some seagull caws, right? And that's what gets you like all like jazzed up and charmed, right? So that's the charm ray, right?
Okay.
Then you got the paralyzed ray, right? And here's what I think, right? Is all of a sudden you're just transmodded into like an eternal ice cream line. Like, those vendors who like walk across the beach, right?
Yeah.
And they're like giving out the free ice cream. Like, you're in that line, and it's like it's hot, and you're sweating a little bit. Like, that's definitely the paralysis ray. Okay.
Yeah. And
now
you have this weird compulsion to stay in the line.
Yeah, and it's like your family's like waiting. Like, you've definitely got somebody else's money. And it's like, you can't really walk out of it. Like, you might be able to pass on the ice cream, but you got to get it for someone else too. The fear ray. Okay. So this one, crabs from the eyes, just everywhere. And they just swarm all over the beach. I know you thought I was going to go somewhere else. But
I'm like, what?
But I had to save that. So crabs. Okay.
Okay.
Just crabs, like crab rave all over that thing. Now,
did you know that crabs can run forward?
Yeah, we learned that.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Peek behind the curtain. We learned that last year.
If you guys have ever gone to the beach where there are like crabs, where crabs exist at the beach, they can run forward, and it's terrifying. All right, that's enough. You guys can go on.
Okay, so slowing ray, right? This one was easy. Hot sand. It just heats all the sand up. Like, worst, most annoying thing ever. Just hot sand. The enervation ray. It's a sunburn ray, right? It just gives you nasty sunburn. Now the sleep ray. This one I thought was like a nice like carrying thing. Like, it sets up a little lawn chair, a beach towel, and you just knock out. Like, you just fall asleep. Now the petrification ray, like, this one is a really committed one, okay? Basically, for the petrification ray, like, somebody shouts shark, but it's indistinctly, and nobody knows where the shark shout kind of originated. So everyone is just like standing there kind of looking around, and nobody really knows like who called it out or like where it's originating from. So nobody moves, because you have to figure out where the person was who called shark and where the shark is, because everybody who's on the beach has to kind of like look at where the shark should be, and everybody who's in the water has to get out of the water. but they also have to think about whether or not the shark is around them and visually identify the shark as well. So it's this moment where everybody has to hold still, it's this thing that happens. So that's the petrification ray. And then, of course, there's the death ray, the biggest, baddest one. And this one I had to go all out for. So naturally, this is a seagull horn that calls a swarm of seagulls that just absolutely dive bomb the crap out of you and just like let loose with like seagull dung and just pecking and everything.
I was waiting for the seagull one. Yeah,
That had to be the death ray.
Yeah.
There's no other choice.
Okay.
Right. Now that we've taken all the good stuff, what do you have, Matt?
Right. So you made like a really cute beholder. Justin played with the eye rays. I think I gotta take us down south a little bit. I think I gotta bring the mood down a little bit. I gotta make an abomination. So
okay.
All right. Imagine this: you have a beholder. His natural color is the color of the beach it's on, so like the sand.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh, no.
We're going there. Yep. And let's just it floats still, sure, or we can give it tentacles. We can give it tentacles on its bottom that it moves around with. And it's got a really sharp beak.
What?
Oh yeah, it's got a really sharp beak.
Okay.
Like an octopus almost, all right?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And let's just size it up a little bit. Let's make it a little bigger. Like double, maybe triple the size.
Okay.
Let's call it whale sized. Sperm whale sized.
That's
all
way
right?
bigger than double or triple.
Yeah. Let's do sperm whale sized.
All right.
So we got a sperm whale sized funny looking guy.
So,
And he likes to dress up like the sand dunes. The sand dunes. You know how like sometimes the beach is like shore up by the boardwalk?
Yeah.
So he's going to pretend to be a little sand mound. And every now and then he gets hungry. And every now and then people go missing. That's my beholder.
I really love how you just took the beholder and went, yeah, you know all those things the beholders are known for? We're not doing any of that. And I'm just going to make something completely different. I'm going to make a tentacly sand dune guy who just eats people.
Okay, check it out. What I actually made was a mimic. And
I made a giant mimic who's a sand dune.
he's still got the eye and the eye stalk. Sure, they can do fun things.
We will do.
He likes to
mimics on a
pretend.
different
Yeah,
episode.
he likes to pretend to be a sand dune, and then he just starts blasting all the beachgoers every now and then.
None of us did. None of us did anything with the anti-magic cone with its main eye. And I had something in mind, but I was leaving it open for either of you two to
Create or destroy water.
No, you know what? That could be a thing. That would be funny.
Yeah.
Create or destroy. See, that might be better than my idea. My idea was that anything in that eye cone gets attacked by biting flies.
That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of him like looking at the
Wow.
ocean and it slowly disappears, though.
So
he
like,
would ruin everybody's beach day.
So like mechanically, it changes a little bit, so it's not like anti-magic, but you have like disadvantage on concentration and you take damage. So that was kind of
Insect
Super annoying. Nobody wants to be there anymore. Everybody hates that guy.
Everybody,
Yeah, but like
exactly,
imagine
that's the point.
Imagine where there is water, it's gone. Where there isn't water, it becomes.
Oh my gosh. Just drowning people by looking at them.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I can see you, and if I can see you, you are wet.
You get oh god, that's even worse, dude. You know those people that are just fucking on like they're just sunbathing, right?
Yeah.
He's just gonna look at them and they just become wet.
Yeah.
It's like prestidigitation but wet.
I think this is a pretty good opener to this first run of this segment. Hey, if you guys think this is interesting and or if you are D&D players or DMs yourselves and you want maybe like a stat block for this, let us know. We can put something together for you and post it in places.
Yeah, we can also give you this really cool image that I used for inspiration.
Why?
This will be put up on the YouTube version of the show. Did you like run it? Did you like go to some AI image generator and just go give me a sand beholder? Like,
yeah,
It's actually a little festive.
It
I
is
actually
a little
think he's a
festive.
little
Yeah, it's a little
festive.
cuter than I made it sound.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
it's a
cute.
lot smaller.
It's a lot smaller, and it's also not a giant "I'm gonna eat you" tentacle monster. But
yeah,
yeah.
but I was like, you know what? Let me make this a monster.
that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah.
It kind of looks like it's got a little smile.
It does. It does. So we'll drop that in the YouTube version so everybody can see what we're talking about. And yeah.
Also, 9 eye stalks. My word.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's also AI, so what do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
But yeah.
It lost one in the war.
Well, that's our show, guys. I hope you enjoyed these 2 new segments on this episode, and have a good rest of your day, week, however long you need to be good for.
Year.
We want it to be good.
Welcome to Humor Highwire.
Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us. Where's my mouse? There it is. Bye.